Hey guys, Rich Lopez with the Drop Time Traditions podcast. I'm your host, Rich Lopez. Tonight I have Mr. Paul Helms of Triple T Strings. How you doing, Paul?
Pretty good. How are you?
Good, brother. Before we begin, I just want to acknowledge the supporters.
Okay.
Stickbow Country Arrow, Custom Arrows, Traps Feather Rests, Traditional Bowhunter Magazine. Oh God, I mean the list goes on and on. But let's go. Sauk Trail Archery, StickbowSupplies.com. Whiskey City Trad Gear, WCTrad.com, Jessie Savage Blacksmith.com, TraditionalJunk.com. If you're looking for a used bow or good old, vintage collectible, reach out to Kevin Bishop there. St. Joe River Bow Company, TheEthicalPredator.com, and StickbowHuntsMX.com, of which I just came back from. You guys probably heard that last night when I dropped that episode. But anyway, Paul, welcome. Welcome, brother.
Thanks
Uh,
for having me.
Last time we spoke, you were supposed to come on, but you got the crud.
Oh man, it was terrible.
Was
It's
it like,
just now getting out. It's been like almost a 4 week venture. It was bad.
was it deemed COVID or just a standard crud? Flu.
I mean, it probably was COVID. I mean, it felt almost identical to the first time I had COVID.
Okay.
It was, in the chest, in the head,
Cheers.
severe exhaustion. I know. I got the Yeti full of coffee.
So, yeah, I've been, knock on wood, I don't get sick. I have not been sick since 1991,
Well,
when my son was born, and I must have the wherewithal of an elephant because, I mean, I got sick a couple of years ago, but that was bad food I ate. But other than that, no COVID, no anything.
that's awesome. I need to figure that part out.
Start drinking heavy.
I mean,
Yeah,
if it works, it works.
well, as a champion archer, you don't want to start any of that. That's for
No,
sure.
no.
Um, so tell us, born, raised, a little bio. Where are you from?
Okay. All right. Well, Paul Helms is my name, and I am 45 years old. I grew up in North Carolina for the first 36 years of my life. Just country boy, living out in the sticks, not anything close to city life at all. Dad grew up, my dad was a preacher growing up, and he passed almost 22 years ago when he was 54. And so after that, um, we moved my mom in with us and stuff like that. Started taking care of her a little bit, and job shut down, sold, moved to Ohio when I was 36, and lo and behold, they talked me into moving up too. And so for the last 10 years, I've been living in Sardinia, Ohio, which is right outside Cincinnati. And I worked for a company for 22 years. And just this past June, wound up getting fired for some political nonsense. And I mean, we'll go into it if you want to. I don't care. But anyway, I've been self-employed, working for Triple T Strings and doing my own side hustle for almost the last year, and it's going really good.
Yeah, I became acquainted with your strings on social media, of course, as most of us have, and that's how we all pretty much communicate anymore. And I had a guy making me strings forever. Grawls, are you familiar with Grawls?
Yes, yeah,
Okay, I don't even know if he's in business anymore, but he was phenomenal. You're my new guy, whether you like
good.
it or
Good.
not, whether you know it or not. Um, Tell us about how you got started into archery. How did that venture start?
So, I mean, just like everybody, most of us started out on the compound side, and then we transversed into
Right.
traditional. So, growing up, I'd never really had any kind of like what you would call mentors in the hunting business or anything like that. My dad didn't hunt; he was a preacher. He's full time preacher, full time employed. He worked for himself as a carpenter. So I never really had anybody to take me out, show me the ropes. So I was kind of like self taught, and so obviously I bought my first compound probably when I was late teens and started that way. Started out shooting right-handed, as I'm left-handed, left-eye dominant, but I lived next door to my cousin, and he was right-handed, so I just taught myself how to shoot right-handed. It's the only thing I did in my life right-handed, and I did that all up until about 2.5 years ago. So started out that, and I never really started shooting traditional until I moved to Ohio. Really, it was right as I made that transition to Ohio that I started dabbling in the trad bow things. I used to watch Gregory Richards on YouTube, the Mr. 3D Archery, and thought it looked so cool just to go out there and shoot something simple like that, or as simple as I thought it was back then. Just a stick and a string, and figured why not? Because I love a challenge. I'm very competitive with myself and how I do things, and so I just went to Cabela's for the first time, and I went to their bargain cave, and I found an old PSE Nighthawk, I think it was, for $75, and I thought that's going to be the deal right there. That's PSE. I mean, they're big in the compound. I figured it was the top end of the line for traditional. I had no idea, and so I bought that thing and set it up. And you can go and follow my YouTube all the way back to the start of that in the backyard of Greensboro, North Carolina, when I started shooting with an old glove, and that's where it got started at. Is so basically 9 years ago I started on the traditional journey.
So this is before Triple T.
Oh
Now,
yeah.
what made you start? What made you want to start a YouTube channel?
So I just thought, well, initially I didn't want to start a YouTube channel. It was basically somewhere where I could dump video.
Okay.
Cause I mean, phone storage back then was kind of whatever, and I didn't want to keep all those videos on my phone, but I didn't want to lose them either. So I used YouTube as an outlet to dump footage.
Oh yeah.
So that's basically what I did. I wasn't trying to be monetized. I wasn't trying to have a following. I didn't really care about all that. I just wanted somewhere to store my video. So I started it basically for that. It wasn't really up until, just a few years ago that I really wanted to try to, maybe make a presence on YouTube, try to share the knowledge that I had learned, that type of thing. So really that's where I got started with YouTube.
Yeah, because I've been watching them and I love it. I mean, I'm lucky if I have 275 subscribers and I've been 156 episodes in, but whatever. It's a small niche what we do.
Right.
Yeah,
Yes, very much so.
we're the 2%ers of the entire archery world.
Maybe.
So yeah, we're the bastard children is what
Yes,
we
we
are.
are.
Um,
Absolutely.
so Triple T strings. Tell us how that started.
Okay, so initially it was three of us guys that got together on the weekends and shot archery.
Okay.
We would go around to local 3D shoots. It wasn't anything that was supposed to be a business. It was a joke. It was three of us, so there was three T's, and it was called uh, traditional turbulence. It was called traditional turbulence in the beginning. Just something funny. We had T-shirts made up with these guys with stick bows shooting drones out of the sky. They were bright yellow. They were annoying, and we just thought it was funny for all three of us to show up with that.
Yeah.
Lo and behold, what it would turn into. It wasn't really my idea. It was Trevor's idea to actually turn it to business, and he was the one that was making the strings in the beginning. I kind of fell into just being in the business by way of a good friendship and just being at the right place at the right time.
What was the third T? What was his name?
And his name was Ben Power, and he
Okay.
still shoots with us. Yeah, he still shoots with us. I worked with Ben Power for a long time before I got fired. He's still there.
Nice. So he gives you the inside skinny as to what
Yeah,
BS is going on.
yeah,
Okay, I
about
get
how
it.
bad it's tanking. I'm like, yes.
Yeah, that's cool. That's cool. Uh, so is it safe to say Triple T started what 2 or 3 years ago?
Triple T started, actually, the website is a year. We just celebrated the year anniversary on the website. So it was actually been going through Facebook for probably 5 or 6 years.
Okay.
Started out really small. Trevor's decided to start selling strings after he had, got the recipe to where he thought it was good.
Mhm.
Had a lot of people like Cody Greenwood, Trad Lab,
Oh
gave
yeah.
him lots and lots of feedback about what it needed to be, and lo and behold, the recipe was born, and Triple T started. Triple T strings started. So
So
that's probably been.
what?
I was just going to say that was probably been about 5 or 6 years ago.
Okay. Okay. So are you the sole guy running Triple T, or your partnership still intact?
No, I'm with Trevor. He deemed me his COO, which I mean, not as a, I mean, it's just two of us, and we have people that make strings with us as well.
Okay.
We can't do it by ourselves. So, I mean, it's just like any other company. When you get big enough where two guys can't take it, you have to have help. So,
Yeah, because I have my old friend Jerry DeWeese, who used to own Stick Bow Supplies, who sold it to
mhm.
Trevor or Travis. Uh,
Travis, yeah.
uh, he was making strings for Three Rivers, and Three Rivers got a million guys making strings for him,
Yeah,
and it's just the orders to keep up with that stuff is just crazy.
it
Uh,
is. It is.
I mean,
It's it,
I've had Bear Archery approach me about refinishing stuff, that warranty stuff. I said, dude, I can't. I'm still working full time. There's no way in hell. Yeah, because
right.
their people are sending stuff back, hand over fist. I don't know why, but that's another topic for another conversation. Um, hey, I got a question for you. Are you a PBS
Okay.
member?
I am not. I am
Okay.
not a PBS member.
How far is Indianapolis from you?
Uh, it's a little ways. It's probably about 2-ish hours, I think. I'm
You
not.
should
I'm
check
not
out the
real sure.
banquet. You should come up to the banquet next weekend. I mean, you don't have to be a member. Just check it out.
Next weekend? Next
Yeah.
weekend, I'm gonna be. It's my first IBO,
Oh,
so I'm
okay.
I'm a competitor first, and then it comes into the hunting side of it. So
Oh
the
well.
International Bowhunters Organization,
Yeah,
they have the Winter Nationals.
yeah, I'm just trying to
That's
meet
when.
everybody. I just love anytime I can meet somebody physically. It's a big deal to me. I
Are
just
you
thought
going to
I
the UBI? Are you going to UBI this weekend? It's
no,
this weekend.
I'm going to PBS. Yeah,
Okay, okay.
yeah. I've been a member since 1978. I got to go, so they say.
I understand that. They seem like
As,
they put on some pretty good hunts and have some pretty good influence in the community.
yeah, it's a great organization, and it's a lot of they say experience through knowledge. Well, yeah, we got a lot of OGs. I'm one of them. Um, Half these guys, the Wenzel guy brothers and all them, I've known them since I was a teenager. I'll never forget the story I told Gene Wenzel and Barry that I was dating the smoking hot Italian chick, and she didn't want me to go to see them at a seminar because that was our weekend. I said, "See
Mhm.
ya, you got to go," and I dumped her like a bad disease, man, just to go see Gene and Barry. So it's a memorable thing. When I talk to them, they bring it up. They're like, aren't you the guy that dumped that Italian chick? Yep, that's me. So it's good stuff. It's good
That's
stuff.
funny.
So what possessed you to become a string builder?
I mean, honestly, just by the mere asking. I mean, Trevor couldn't keep up with orders, and I mean, I started doing all the endless strings in the business, and
Oh
then
man.
he and Joey Anna was doing a lot of the Flemish stuff, and then lo and behold, it gets out of hand for on that end of things, and we pick up two more. The Zaduniks that lives literally 4 miles down the road. My best friend Shelby, she's one of the quick ship Flemish string makers for the company, and it's just it's getting to where we're all staying so busy that we might have to look at some other things too.
Yeah.
So going
Well,
forward, I mean it's
I've
crazy.
been, yeah, I've been messing around with some bows lately here in my collection. That's just part of it. Um, but I'm going to need some strings, so I will be reaching out with AMO
I
information. All that.
I just did my last string about 15 minutes before I hopped on for, all of yesterday's orders. And now I got today's orders to do when we get off of here.
Okay. So your hands must be,
Oh
like,
man, I got calluses that
yep,
fill up with
cramp.
fluids. I mean, it's fun though. I love watching somebody's dream come to fruition in my hands. Like
Hmm.
they say they want colors, they want to match, they want it to look good, man. And you take material and you make a masterpiece with it. It feels like
Yeah,
it's fun to watch it come together.
that's amazing. That's amazing. So, can you explain to our audience the differences between, let's say, the average Dacron build versus a Fast Flight or D97 string?
So it basically comes down to elasticity and fibers and a lot of the science that I'm not really privy on. Trevor would answer that question a lot better, but I'll give you the dumb version. So Dacron is based more toward your older non-fast flight capable bows, like your old Bears, your old Damon Howitts, stuff, things like that.
Right.
The Brownings that weren't able, they didn't have reinforced limb tips. So what happens with fast flight is not as stretchy. It's a little more less elasticity, and so it's harder on the limb tips by way of, you know, firing over and over and over, so it could wear them limb tips down and wind up blowing up on you. So Dacron has a lot more give to it. It's a lot more softer for that type of bow.
Mm-hmm. That makes perfect sense. I got a lot of guys that send me older bows, and they want me to grind off the fiberglass tip overlays and then reinforce it with micarta tip overlays, which I do, but I also put an underlay in the back of the limb just to ensure
because it'll cut into that. It'll cut into that wood without that reinforcement.
Yeah, so it's I've kind of tried to avoid it because I'm like, dude, it's a vintage bow, it's a collectible. Don't fix it if it's not broke.
Right.
You know, if you want to shoot fast flight, buy a fast flight compatible bow.
Right. There's nothing wrong with Dacron or B55. We carry a lot of B55 and do a lot of B55 strings. Right. It's just they have a lot more stretch to them. So I mean, you go to making them things, the recipe changes, and they're going to wear out faster than fast flight. You're going to have to replace them more often.
Yeah, absolutely. I shoot both. I mean, I've got old bows and I just leave them as they are, and I've got newer bows that, yeah, they're fast as hell. So talk to me about surveys, because I tried to make bowstring, God, 40 years ago, and frustrating. So some of the serving I got was, of course, nylon or whatnot, but then I saw serving that was like, looked like fishing line. I'm like, what is this? Talk to us about servings.
So there, in my opinion, there's only one serving one somebody should use on a bowstring, and that's Power Grip.
Okay.
So BCY makes a serving called Power Grip, and it is a very tacky type of serving to where it's not going to slip on you. It's great for barebow. It's great for hunting, and with the right strand count recipe with D97. So we do mostly all D97 or B55. That's the only two materials that we carry. The new stuff, it's not bad. Not saying that it doesn't make bad bowstrings, but when you're going for a feel of the shot, you can definitely tell the feel of a material that's got a less elasticity in it versus one that has what we feel is the proper amount of elasticity and gives you the most performance out of a string. Right. So with that said, with our D97 and our recipe, Power Grip, anywhere from 0.14 diameter to 0.25 diameter, we can make any knock fit work.
Okay.
So it's basically about finding the recipe that's the easiest to produce and gives you the most performance.
Now, when you talk to your customers, are you asking them like what knock or what arrow they're using? You know, because Absolutely. You got. All right, that's cool. That's cool.
So this is my knock bin right here, and I have every knock that you can think of in there. And so when the order comes through, I have that exact knock that they're going to use, so they're going to get the perfect knock fit every time.
Okay. Yeah, that's good thinking. That's awesome. So for our listeners, and you know, I always see this. I know what the term is. I know it because I've done it and I've seen it before. If for our listeners, can you please just explain what padding the string means?
Okay, so it's padding the loop. I've never really had to pad a string itself, but say you have and you can do it on older bows too that aren't fast flight capable. You can pad loops and still get away with like a fast flight type string or something like that on an older bow if you pad it up enough to kind of give it that where it's not as tough or not as abrasive on the thing. So you'll take string material, extra string material. So if you're running, say, like 14 strand, then you'll pad the loop with 2 or 3 extra pieces of material, and the string loop might be padded to 16 to 18, and it just makes that loop fatter and it makes it more soft.
Some strings I've received from customers have that, but it's like, it looks like a wool material.
Are you meaning down from the loop down?
Yeah, from the loop down.
So that's all about silencing the string. So some string makers use wool as a means of silencing a string for contact. So
Okay.
saying on recurves, instead of putting the Velcro on the limb, so when the limb comes back to brace and that string contacts the limb, some people will put moleskin or Velcro on the limb so it silences the impact.
Right.
Well, some string makers will wrap wool around the tip of the string down to do the same thing.
Okay.
Um, I mean,
That makes sense now.
it work. I mean, if it works, it works. I mean, we do it if we're asked to do it, but
Yeah,
I
I'm
mean
a brace height guy, so I just play with brace height until things quiet. Then I start going to town.
that. I mean, you're never going to get a bow more quiet than one that is tuned.
Right.
Period. I
Exactly.
mean, you can put 1,000 grains of silencing material on a string to try to quieten a bow down, and basically all you're doing at that point is slowing it down to the point that it's quiet. If the bow's tuned, then I sent a string out to a guy that has a bobbly super curve, and we know how loud they can be sometimes. He had the string on there with no silencers, and he was happy with what it sounded like, no silencers. But he put silencers on there just because he wanted to support the guy that he wanted to
Okay.
support the most silencers for him. So,
So
and,
what's fun? What's funny is I'm a bear takedown guy,
yep.
and I got border limbs with the super curve for the bear takedown. Dude, it sounded like a shotgun going off. I put like
Yeah.
I must have had 6 string silencers on there. I went to like a 9-inch brace height from the 7 1/4, which is normal for a bear,
Yeah.
and I couldn't get that thing to shut up. I sold them immediately.
Yeah. Well,
I
super
said,
curved limbs usually take a lower brace height than normal. So,
hmm.
like, you had border limbs on there with a super curve, and you were at 7 1/4. You probably needed to be somewhere around 6 5/8.
Well, I did not give it that chance.
Yeah,
Uh,
yeah, they really like a low brace height on
okay.
border limbs.
Well, lesson learned. So that's fine. I don't miss them. Trust me. Uh,
They're so hard to tune
yeah,
sometimes.
yeah. Uh, so what other products do you offer? You're
Oh
you're
man! All
involved
right,
in stuff.
yeah. So Triple T started a Triple T Strings, Triple T Archery, as the website's called. Started a website a year ago. So I started my own business outside of Triple T called Paul's 3D Print and Paracord Shop, and
Hmm.
so all my products are on that website as well. So I've got everything listed and laid out here. That not everything we carry, but kind of the essentials, the staples. So we carry a line of silencers for wool called Only Puffs, which was kind of like a spinoff of OnlyFans, just kind of a catchphrase. And we have many, many different variations. They're not all there, but we have quite a few variations of wool silencer. We
Hmm.
also are going to start carrying individual cat whisker silencer
Okay.
packages that we're going to send out and sell. With that's going to be everybody asks how we get our silencers so neat and round, right? And so what's going to happen when you buy that cat whisker silencing kit? It's going to come with a QR code that is going to be linked to a video of me installing those cat whiskers and showing exactly how we do it. So basically, you're not just buying the whisker, you're buying the knowledge of how we tie them, which has kind of been a staple of what we do with Triple T
That's
String.
awesome. That's awesome.
We're going to sell kits for Dyneema puffs with a QR code in the video, as well as our fur silencers. We're carrying fur now that has a QR code with an install video and the wool. Secondly, which is probably the second bestseller other than the strings, are the feathers.
Oh yeah.
So these are called Voyager feathers. They come in a variety of solids and camos. That's a camo version. This would be a solid version. They come in 5-inch, 4-inch, and 3-inch,
Mm.
which there's 3-inch blue camos. They are very unique where it's not a parabolic, it's not a shield, it's a very specific cut that Trevor come up with and had them made. And so it's his own specific cut of feather. We also carry top hat nocks for wood arrows that you do not have to taper the shaft. You just glue them on of a squared off shaft, which that's pretty cool. We also carry now, we just got in field points with bands. They're very grain specific. They're very close in grains. There's hardly any variations at all, none. We carry 5/16, 100 through 200 grain, and you have 100 and 125 grain in the 1764 size.
Wow.
So that we also do arrow builds. We have shafts on there that are pre-built that you can buy, from carbon to aluminum, from competition to hunting. There's a lot of that on there. And so on my side of things, on the 3D print side of things, so of course you got your strings, and I do arm guards for like competition style biter looking arm guards in various colors. I also do what is called the easy wrist sling. So you have a wrist sling. This is the locking magnet version. And so it's basically a wrist sling that you can wear for you can hunt with it or anything like that, but you put your bow in your hand, you come around and you lock yourself in, and your bow is locked into your hand. So it's just kind of like a wrist sling that you wear around all the time. More based off for competition, but I wear mine for hunting too, because I don't want to drop my bow out of the tree. I have bino harnesses that are locking and magnetized that you put on your belt. So you reach back, you grab your binos off, you glass, you come back, and you can lock them into your waist without even looking. So the 3D print side of it, I have arrow holders. Now this is a 10 by 10 round arrow holder that holds 120 arrows. So you're looking at 10 dozen.
Yeah, I saw the video, man. That was awesome.
They're very, very cool and organizing. I also now have the square version out that holds 96, which is 8 dozen. But we have a ton of stuff on that website that people may or may not know about. And there's more being added every day. We will have eventually our own arrows. They're coming. We're just in the stages of having them designed and testing, and then we will have arrows too coming out on the website.
So, Paul, what's the website?
The website is www.tripletarchery.com, or you can type in tripleTstrings.com. You bought both domains, it'll shoot you to the same place.
Yeah, I've been on the website, and folks, I'm here to tell you, check it out. These guys are moving and shaking. Really impressed with that. So, besides that, let's switch gears. Let's talk bow hunting real quick. We're going to get to your competition soon, but what's your favorite setup and method?
All right. So for hunting, I've always been a tree stand guy.
Okay.
And I've always tried. I'm a tinkerer by nature. I like to tinker. I like to tune. I like all the technology. And I also like to try to figure out the perfect setup, whether that's in a bow or whether in a hunting setup. So I've tried every iteration of tree stand, saddle hunting, climber that I can think of. I've hybrid hunted with like a saddle platform and or a tree stand and a saddle. I've done, just platform saddle. I've done climbers. Right now, I'm testing out that new Long Wolf Custom Gear crossover climber just to see what it's all about. I hunted two times last season with it right at the end, and I really like it. It's lightweight, portable, and it goes up fast and down fast. I don't know how it's going to be shooting out of it. I didn't really get a lot of time to shoot out of it, but I can't imagine it's bad.
I mean, Cody's hunting 10 feet off the ground and killing monsters. Monsters.
It doesn't. I don't think the stereotypical way that we were taught to hunt from the old heads a lot of times are as valid or are valid. I think opinion carried people's way of hunting a lot farther than it probably should have as far as how to hunt. I think there's a lot of ways to get it done. I'm going to experiment off the ground a lot this year. I'm going to hunt off the ground a lot.
Yeah, I love ground hunting. It's awesome.
So that's my way of hunting as far as like in a tree. I love using traditional bows to get it done too. I do shoot with compounds every once in a while. I'll get an itch like every couple of years, and I'll buy one and I'll hunt with it a little bit. But it always gets sold. It always gets moved on. Like the deer that I got up here on the wall. I mean, that was a compound kill from up here in Ohio. I've killed a buck with longbow and wood arrows. I've killed them with recurves. I mean, I've killed several deer with trad bows, and it's just something about it. I like it.
Oh, well, yeah, it's kind of like a massive rewarding,
Yeah.
in my opinion. I mean, anything I kill with traditional equipment, it's just like, wow, I just did that, you know.
Mhm.
Um, so what other outdoor activities do you get into?
I love fishing.
Okay,
I would probably, if I gave up archery for anything, it would be to fish. And it's not like your bass boat, go out on the lake type fishing. I love to wade fish creeks. I
mhm.
love to go find river monster smallmouth just walking up a creek in the spring and summertime. I love doing that. Don't get me wrong, I'll go on a boat and I'll have fun, catching largemouth out of a lake. But you get me on some smallmouth in a creek, and I'm as happy as a lark.
Yeah,
Give me
yeah, I get it. I get it.
give me pumpkin seeds. I don't care.
My mother-in-law landed a smallmouth. It's in Wisconsin, and it was like the first smallmouth a woman ever caught. And man, my father-in-law had it mounted for her, and it's just she's so proud of that. But he's passed on. Unfortunately, she doesn't fish anymore. But that's her biggest monumental accomplishment.
And it is. Them things fight. Oh my gosh, they fight.
Yeah.
Something about them creek monsters too. I mean, you can get a 15-inch smallmouth in a creek, and you think you got something.
You want
And
to
I
hear
mean, you
something?
do.
You want to hear something funny? I suck at fishing.
Really?
I stink at it because nobody ever taught me.
Yeah. Well, you want to hear something funny? I kind of suck at hunting. I'm a really good shot. I can shoot, but the hunting part of it, being self-taught, I'm still learning every time I
Well,
go
I'm
out.
here to tell you, bro, play the wind. If the wind is in your face, you're good. If you're
Yeah.
overlooking something, really, I mean, it's this very common sense approach. You don't need Sika gear. You don't need QU camo. Just,
Yeah.
flannel shirt and just dark pants and don't move a lot.
That's what I'm in. I'm in a pair of like Wrangler ATG
Hmm.
brown or greens, and then I'll wear like maybe a camo top,
Yeah.
something like that. But yeah, I've never owned Sika. I can't afford it.
Well, I went nuts a couple of years ago. Had a yard sale, sold some shit before we moved from Baltimore to Florida. I said, I'm going to buy me some QEO and Sika gear because I can. So what I did is I went online and I did not go to their website. I found stuff online that was semi gently used.
Yeah.
I got this stuff dirt cheap. $250 jacket for like $90. Stuff like
There
that.
you go.
Yeah. So I mean, yeah, whatever. Nothing a washing machine can't take care of.
Well, I'll tell you
Uh,
something funny. So I don't. I pride myself at like not getting busted, like with
mhm.
my solid color pants and this, that, and the other.
Right.
Well, I went out and bought some Huntworth. Huntworth is kind of like the poor man's Sitka gear, right? And I got the new color. It was like Deception, top to bottom. I was decked out in this stuff. And this past year, I was sitting in a tree, and I seen that deer coming, and I got my bow in my hand. I'm leaned up against the tree, and I'm not moving. Wind's in my face. Perfect. She should have been smoked, coming right down the ridge at me. That heifer deer picked me off from 100 yards away. I don't know how. Like she knew I was there and just played a fool.
Well, and I'm here to tell you what happened. And this is my speculation is that the fabric used, okay, it's a nylon fabric. Nylon has a bit of a glow to it.
I'm thinking the same thing. I'm
Right.
thinking it was like really bright.
Yeah. And that's how the animal picked you off. Uh, when I go back to normal stuff and, camo, not even camo, just pants and a shirt and, like a flannel shirt or whatever, they just keep moving. They don't even notice me.
Well, have you ever seen that video that I did for the push shooting that deer on public land?
Yeah.
I was wearing the solid green ATGs, and I can't remember what top. I think it was just I think it was one of their sweatshirts, like a green brown
Yeah.
push hoodie. And I was 12 foot from that deer, or 12 yards from that deer, not high up, probably like 17, 18 feet.
Never saw you.
Never saw me. and I'm self-filming, you know, shaking. You know, you can see the arrow shaking. I don't know. I think I'm gonna ditch that stuff and go
Yeah.
back to the old
Yeah.
school.
What's funny is I went to I just came back from Mexico and I'm wearing like the QU with the desert camo and shit. And
Hmm.
these freaking Javelina are so blind. I could have, yeah, they're like Stevie Wonder out there. They didn't see me at all. I was like, Jesus. I was like, why did I spend all this money? What a waste of time. I could have been out there in a tank top and underwear and I could have shot them. And it was so damn hot. I actually took my clothes. I was topless in the blind one day because it was 82 out in the desert, but 95 in the blind. I was like, nah, this is
Oh
ridiculous.
man, that's
Yeah.
crazy.
Big old boobies hanging out. You know, it's crazy. Um, so I noticed on your Facebook albums, firearms. You like firearms? You're two
I do.
season hunter. Yep.
Yeah, I'm a closet firearm junkie. I do like
Yeah.
to. I don't have a lot. I got enough. I got what I need, but I love shooting.
Me too.
I'm a nut for pistol shooting. I love to get out there and just kind of. I did a little bit of 3 gun, not a lot. Just anytime I get out there and squeeze off a couple rounds, I will.
So in Ohio, can you conceal carry or is it open carry?
No, you can still carry. Actually, in Ohio, they got constitutional carry. You don't even got to have a permit anymore.
Okay. Same here in
And
Florida. They
yeah,
changed all that. So I can literally open carry here, but I don't.
yeah.
Yeah, I'm
I don't get it.
66. I don't need to advertise.
It's a cool right to have, but I would rather nobody know that I got it.
Exactly.
Honestly,
I'd
I would.
rather wear a baggy shirt and have it all there and know that I'm
Yep,
protecting whoever.
yep.
Um, yeah, I'm a big shooter. I love shooting firearms. I'm a big rifle guy. I love ballistics, downrange, long
Hmm.
shots. Yeah, that's my thing.
I'm a closet knife junkie too.
Yeah,
I
oh
love
yeah.
knives.
Oh,
So like,
yeah, me too, bro.
I have at least two on me all the time. I carry
Oh,
a fixed blade. I carry a fixed blade all the time.
mm.
That if I need to do wet work, I can, and I
And-
carry my folder for
right.
everything else.
Yep.
So I
What's your
love knives.
folder choice? What's your folder choice?
Yeah, I'm a Spyderco man. I like
Okay.
Spyderco. I did try the new Work Sharp RMX, the one with a double pivot where you can make it an auto
Hmm.
or a
Buck.
manual.
Buck. It's a
Yeah,
buck. What is this thing? A T22. Yeah. It's my everyday.
yep. Ain't nothing wrong with that. Hold on, I'll show you my little collection. So my folder or my fixed blade is that I carry all the time is the SC Azula.
Hmm.
So I have that tucked down in the waistband all the time. And then I either carry one of these three knives. So I carry the PM2 a lot,
Yep.
Spider Co, or I'll carry the PM3.
Hmm.
And then I've been working this RMX blackout in the rotation with
Yep.
the M390. That's just my jam right there. And then I don't know. I'm this close to buying the new Manix 2 Sauk. I don't know. I just love knives.
Yeah. I mean, that's what we do, man. I mean, it's just part of our thing.
Yeah.
I got to ask you, are you former military by any chance?
Uh, I was in there and then I had to leave for medical purposes. But yeah, I was in there for a second.
Okay. Same here. Thank you.
Yep.
Uh,
Thank you.
that's cool. That is so cool. Yeah, I knew this would be a fun podcast. So I noticed on your Facebook photo albums, bows. What's your tournament rig? Because you're shooting a longer bow. Are you into the 70-inch tournament rig now?
So right now I am shooting a 70-inch Sauk Trail Ascend. So I'm
Okay.
doing the longbow wood arrow kick right now, and really enjoying it. So he is coming out and will come out with an Ascend 2 in the next few months. That's going to be a little more performance, a little more speed in it, and I'm going to go 66-inch on that one.
Mhm.
I have a very short draw length. I'm 26 and a half at most, 27 if I stretch it back on my face a little bit. And so I'm never going to be the fastest guy in the group. And so for me and my tournament rigs, I am finding over and it takes you a while to do all this. To be seasoned and to know most forgiving for like draw length specific people. I mean, if you've got a 31-inch draw length, anything's forgiven for you, really. If you have a hard time finding arrows, but you're going to have the most forgiveness for speed. You're going to have the most forgiveness in, how small your gap movements are. I like Whiskey City.
Oh,
I got my hipster 2 sitting over there now. So anyway, yeah, I'm running the 70-inch Sauk Trillicin right now, and when I was running barebow, I was running a 70-inch, 25-inch riser, long limb barebow rig too as well.
I don't compete at all, but I'm intrigued as to potentially owning one, just because it seems so smooth and forgiving.
It is, and that's why you'll see me trend toward the longer side of hunting rigs as well. Like I like a 60 to 64-inch hunting rig.
Right.
And if I get a 64, that's good. I mean, it has never affected me shooting out of a tree with a 64-inch bow, and I've not shot anything over 64 out of a tree. But I know a lot of guys that shoot 66 and 68-inch longbow ASLs out of a tree stand with no problem. But I want the forgiveness. Like I said, I'm not the best hunter, but I can shoot, and so with that, I like to try to get something that's the most forgiving to give me the best opportunity.
Oh, I get it. So I see that you recently competed in the Lancaster Classic.
I
So tell
did.
us what that was like. It seems exciting.
So it was good in the fact that I got to see all my friends that I don't ever see but like once or twice a year at some of these tournaments. The bad part is I was so busy leading up to it, I did not get the practice that I needed to be the best I could have been. I shot okay. I can't even remember what I shot, but I mean I was top, I don't know. I don't remember what it was. Top 30 maybe out of like about 100 people, 120 some people. I think
Yeah.
we had a little bit. So I mean it was respectable, but it wasn't near potential. I'm feeling really good about my shot right now leading up in the 3D season. I've been shooting a lot more, working in, making dedicated time to go outside and hit the 3D targets at least an hour, every day, every other day. So I'm feeling really good about my shot now.
So do you have I've been following Tom Clum and all these other guys. Do you have a
Mhm.
shot process that you follow?
Absolutely. I mean, anybody that wants to shoot good or wants to shoot great better have a shot process.
Okay.
I don't care if you're instinctive. I don't care if you have an aiming method. You just need to have a process.
Tell us what
And
a process is.
okay, so for me, process is twofold. You have the physical process, and then you have a mental process. Right. And so physical process is whatever you can do to be the most consistent. So if I just take for a competing aspect of it. So this is how I approach a 3D target. I walk up to the stake, I glass the target, find out where I need to hit. Obviously, if you don't know where you need to hit, you're kind of losing points. If you're not carrying binos on a 3D course, you're losing points. So I'll step up to the target, I'll glass the stake. I use the Dwayne Martin method of judging yardage. I look at the target. I get an initial number in my head of how far that target is away, and then I'll judge the ground. And then whatever the number is on the animal and whatever the number is on the ground, I'll split it in the middle and I'll shoot in between. And that has served me really well. And right now I'm feeling really good about yardage estimation with that method. So that's part of the physical part of the process. So then I set my feet, I set my grip, I set the hook on the string. This is all subconscious kind of muscle memory, right? But it's still part of the process that's consistent. And okay.
3 fingers under, split finger.
Yes. Yeah. 3 finger under.
Okay. Why 3 fingers under?
3 fingers under gets the arrow closer to the eye.
Mm-hmm.
It helps with a point on distance not being really far out there. So for 3D, I'm a max yardage of 15 or a max yardage of 25.
Okay.
If I was to go split finger, I might have a point on distance of 30 some yards on that bow, and it's going to be hard to figure out how low to hold that bow in the way I shoot with gap. And so, I mean, trying to figure out what 20 some inches is under a target is kind of tough.
Yeah.
Right. And so 3 fingers under, getting the arrow closer to the eye, running my nock height up as high as I can get it to be within tune, and then adopting a little bit of a higher anchor. It lets you take that point on distance and get it down to what your max yardage is going to be for competition. And so if I can be point on at 25 or 27 yards, that's going to look a lot better for the arrow holding under to where I want the initial impact to be.
Well, that
So
makes
like
sense. Thank you for
safer
explaining that. Yeah, for sure.
15 yards, I'm holding about 12 inches under the 11 ring of a 3D animal. That's not
Okay.
hard to judge. A foot's
Right.
not hard to judge.
That's awesome. Thanks for explaining that because I've never had anybody explain it as so simplified on the podcast. And it makes me want to go out in the backyard right now. But no, we're not doing that. So who are your mentors? Bow
I mean,
hunting, archery, shooting, what? Who's your mentors?
I mean, I shoot with one of the best female archers in the world, Bone Gerard. We shoot out of the same club, Alan Nisley. He shoots at the club with us, and us three have really kind of adopted each other. We call each other our coaches. Like I coach Bone Gerard, but she can outshoot me night and day, but she still calls me her coach. And then I call her my coach, and I call Alan my coach. And then you have Trevor. Trevor's a phenomenal shot. Trevor can help. He's helped a lot coming up as we would go to 3D shoots every weekend in the development of my shot process. I mean, you've got a ton of people out there.
Yeah.
I did go through the Joel Turner stuff. I did go through the Tom Clun stuff for biomechanics coming up that helped me with certain aspects of it. So I've gleaned a little bit from everybody, and I've worked them into what worked for Paul. And that's what people don't understand is you can't necessarily shoot like this person or like that person and it work. You have to adopt it and you have to manipulate it for what works for you.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, people have range of motion issues. They have, the ability to see a certain distance before their eyes give out on them. They have the ability to only pull a certain amount of weight on a bow before things start to break down. Right. And so when things start breaking down, people start changing things. They don't know what they're changing. They're trying new things too fast before letting something that they've tried kind of come into fruition. There's a lot of things that we can do that we shouldn't do as fast as we do it, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
So,
I
like,
mean, as a senior citizen, I understand exactly what you're talking about.
yeah, if you're having problems with something and you change one thing, well, that one thing may take 3 weeks to adopt and to get a good feel for before we need to decide if it's going to work or it's not going to work. But you have a lot of people out there that give it a day, they give it 2 days, and then they abandon it, and then they go to something else, and then they're in a tailspin. So I see a lot of people that have shooting problems that it's not really a problem in their shooting. It's a problem in their dedication to figuring out what is potentially best.
It's in the head. A lot of things are in the head. Yeah, with me, it's in the head. I mean, I dropped poundage and kept dropping poundage, but I probably needed to because I was like realizing I was like, this is no fun. And I kept thinking I was a younger man, but of course I'm not. At 66, I can kill a pig here in Florida with 39 pounds.
Yeah.
Sharp broadhead all day long. It's done deal. And I'm not going after elk. I'm not going after bison or grizzly bears anymore. Those days are gone for me. Because I want them to be. I just enjoy just hunting locally or hunting deer, whatever. So what advice can you give an aspiring young archer, young or old for that matter, for shooting their best?
So the best advice I can get is one, find coaches or people that know what they're doing. Like Facebook archery groups are a horrible place to get advice.
Yeah.
Because you're going to have 40,000 different methods that work for individuals that necessarily are not going to work for you. So stay off of Facebook, one. Find somebody that knows what they're talking about that you trust, and then work with them to adopt a method and a process. You have to have a process. You have to have a method. If you don't have those things, then you're going to fail. It might not be today, it might not be tomorrow, but a very lackadaisical way of shooting is never going to hold up, especially when the pressure hits.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I've never had any kind of failures hit as much as I have when the pressure is on. And so the other side of that advice would be to never adopt a process, never formulate a process, or create a process that you do not trial under pressure. And that's hard for hunters because, you get one shot sometimes. You might get 2 shots a year at an animal. So how do you practice that? Well, there's ways to do that. Show up to 3D shoots and shoot in front of your friends. Come to competitions. Shoot live on Facebook in front of your peers. All these things will help add pressure and show you where the weak parts of your shot are. And then once you do that, you start picking apart the weak parts and start making them strengths. And before you know it, you've got a good process and a good method.
Yeah, I agree. I can't shoot in front of my peers. When I'm at a 3D shoot, if I'm with my buddies, I completely become unraveled. So it's like, yeah, I'd rather just get up early, shoot the 3D course before they're awake, and be done with it and hang out for beers later. So and that's how it works for me. So what's in store for you, Triple T, for 2026 and 27?
I mean, right now we're just got our head down and we're trying to grow it and make it as big as we can. And it is. I mean, we were looking at numbers, and we've grown 300% in the last year. I mean, it's crazy at the gains and the steps and the strides forwards that we've made. And we couldn't do it without the people that help, and then the people that are all a part of it. I mean, we are all close knit. We all go hang out a lot. We are all friends, and we're all, basically family. And without that, I don't think it will work. I mean, it's something that we all have a vision. We all have what we want, a goals in mind, and we're just kind of executing.
Yeah, you're doing a great job. And I noticed you trimmed your beard down. It was a little long the last time I saw it.
I was ripping it out a little bit, and it was getting in my way. I couldn't find an anchor. I would rather shoot good than look good.
Excellent. So how can people get a hold of you?
They can go to the website, TTTarchery.com. There they can find anything that Triple T Archery has for sale. They can also go under the accessories section under that same website and find all of Paul's 3D print and paracord stuff that I have for sale. So it's all inclusive on the same website, or you can message me direct and we can work it out that way too. Cool. No problem. So YouTube is Stick and String Life. You can find videos there. I'm going to try to start uploading more content. I was trying to do that whole YouTube content creator thing, and the time you put into it for what the money you get out of it's not worth it. So I kind of bailed on that a little bit, but it's coming back. I'm going to bring it back a little bit, kind of work it in, trying to, drop more videos, especially more toward 3DCs and get some of that stuff on there.
Yeah. I myself, same way. I just let my website do its thing, and I just promote myself on social media, but I don't push it too much. It is what it is.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah, it's all good. But Paul, I mean, dude, I'm so happy to have you on tonight. Thank you so much.
I enjoyed it. It was fun. It was
good.
Fun.
I'm glad you did. So folks, check out Triple T Strings and check out the Drop Time Traditions podcast on Spotify and on YouTube. Subscribe, like, and share. Paul, thank you so much again. Have a blessed rest of the year.
You too, sir. Anything I can do, you need anything, you let me know. I'll help any way I can. Questions, It doesn't matter.
All right, brother.
All right, thank you.
All right, we're going to end this now. Take care.
Bye-bye. Bye-bye.